as the chief ministerial candidate. This will, at least for the moment, settle those doubts, even though that may continue later. But the Prime Minister's speech singularly focused not just on showcasing achievements of the Modi Sarkar over the last 9 years, but also promising to perform even more over the next 5 years. This is a speech aimed not only at marking 9 years of the Namo Sarkar, but also about the Rajasthan election this year and the big Lok Sabha election next year. Much of the speech was also dedicated to attacking the opposition. He also made light of the Congress's guarantee spree and the freebies that have been announced most recently in the Karnataka election. He's talked about how the Congress has ignored border development, that the UPA government was a remote control government, that the Congress misled the nation on one rank, one pension, something that only came during the Modi Sarkar. Talked about how the Congress has betrayed small farmers and how farmers at large have suffered due to the Congress party. The big 40-minute speech by Prime Minister Modi to mark 9 years in power. Next year, the big election where the Prime Minister will be looking for a return for the third time. I want to go across to India Today's Jai Kishan joining us live from Ajmer. Jai Kishan, big speech, very important takeaways from what the Prime Minister said, but very much in keeping with the fact that this year is a big election year in Rajasthan and next year for the country.
Yes, definitely, Shiv. This was a big speech by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He is leaving no stone unturned, especially after the outcome of Karnataka elections. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has himself taken the charge and is campaigning back-to-back in Rajasthan. Just few minutes ago also, he took a jibe at the relationship between Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot here in Rajasthan, along with the corruption stuff, along with the development works, what he did for Rajasthan. He paid respect to all the great leaders of Rajasthan, but very sharply and smoothly, he took a jibe between the relationship of Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot and his better-known Sachin Pilot. He was clear on this, in his speech that that what Congress used to do has changed. No more there is corruption in tenders and other stuff. So basically, it's important tour of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, especially when the BJP is itself hit by factionalism in Rajasthan. It's Congress which is fighting on the screen. It's BJP which is fighting even hard behind the screens. So in order to send a clear-cut message to the common people of Rajasthan, Code of Conduct will be implemented within 100 or 120 days. Prime Minister Modi and central leadership of
Jai
BJP
Kishan, also,
very
sorry to interrupt you, but I just wanted to ask you, settle a couple of doubts that we've been having. I want to put those pictures of the Prime Minister on stage where Vasundhara Raje is also visible. There was quite a bit of buzz over, Vasundhara Raje not being there when Amit Shah was there earlier this year for his rallies, whether there was some kind of backlash against Vasundhara Raje. But here she is on stage today, Jai Kishan, sitting right next to the Prime Minister, chatting with him, clearly being projected as the big leader of the BJP in Rajasthan. Was this also deliberate to settle all those rumors?
See, Shiv, whether it was in Jodhpur, whether it was in Siroi, Rajsamand, Abu Road, in Bharatpur, Vasundhara Raje was present in almost all the events of Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah, and especially after Karnataka elections. The BJP knows that it was a debate which is a continuous debate, that can the Modi factor work without strong leadership in state. They have learned a lesson from Rajasthan, and Vasundhara Raje, they know, is a popular leader in the state. After Sachin Pilot, the leader who attract masses in Rajasthan is Vasundhara Raje. However, her relationship with the party leaders in Rajasthan are not fruitful. But Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Amit Shah has repeatedly made it clear that this election would be fought in Rajasthan on the works of central leadership of BJP. They are still working out whether they can project Vasundhara Raje as their candidate or not. You know what happened with B.S. Yedurappa.
Yeah.
He had a re-entry in the party and he was declared Chief Minister. Can Vasundhara be another B.S. Yedurappa in Rajasthan? This is what Prime Minister Narendra Modi is working out. Because see, he has travelled to Sirohi,
Yes.
Rajsamand, Bhilwara, Dausa, and it is expected that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also travel to eastern pockets of Rajasthan, where BJP performed very badly in last assembly elections. Out of 42, only BJP won one seat. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi is himself testing what formula may or may not work, but he wanted to give a very strong and strict message to his party. What sources have told us, they've asked all the leaders in state not to give any statement against anybody. We don't want a situation like Congress in Rajasthan. Everybody has been asked to work on their strengths and leave it to High Command that who will be the Chief Minister face, whether they want to go with the Chief Minister face or not. Because again, just I'll cut it short. Ajmer division is very important. Out of 29 assembly seats, last time 13 was with BJP, 13 was with Congress, 2 with Rashtriya Loktantrik Party and 1 with the Independent. This time Prime Minister Modi has made it very clear, sent a message to BJP top leaders that we want at least 25 seats from the heart of Rajasthan. That is Ajmer division. It passes to the center of state. That's why it is called heart of Rajasthan. Yes, Shiv.
Very, very interesting. And I'm glad you made that comparison with, the lessons learned from Karnataka as well. The leadership issue is an important one. The optics, the body language are also very, very important. And it looks like the BJP has learned some of those lessons after that catastrophic defeat in Karnataka. I want to bring in our National Affairs editor, Rahul Srivastav, also in on this. Rahul, welcome. An important day, an important speech by the Prime Minister. Many of the things he said are, very typical of the Modi, the Modi style. It's a big year for Rajasthan. Next year is another big year. But I first wanted to ask you, before we get into the subject matter of the speech, Vasundhara Raje there on stage, with the Prime Minister, are those doubts all settled? The reason I'm asking, Rahul, is because the Rajasthan election is only a few months away now. There has been buzz over troubles within the BJP over projecting who for the Rajasthan election. Has that been settled yet? And do these pictures settle that?
Shiv, these pictures don't settle the issue, but they send a signal. They send a signal very clearly of a rethink. Just a few months ago, before Karnataka, it seemed that in the 3 critical states, which are going to go to polls in the coming months, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, the 3 stalwarts of the BJP, largely the face of the party, virtual satraps within the BJP fold, Vasundhara Raje, Shivraj Singh Chauhan and Raman Singh. It seems that these leaders, their glory days are over and the party high command is now thinking beyond them. In fact, both in Rajasthan and MP, over the last few months, we have been listening a lot of names. In MP Narottam Mishra, you have got Narendra Singh Tomar and others. Whereas in Rajasthan, there is Gajen Shekhawat, even Ashwini Vaishnav, who belongs to Rajasthan but is from a different cadre. Even his name was doing the round as the chief minister, probable, as far as the BJP is concerned. And one sensed that there was a sense of desperation in the Vasundhara camp, that despite being the vote getter at one time and the face of the party, Vasundhara was losing ground. But Karnataka definitely has changed the picture. Karnataka has made the BJP rethink. Today, Vasundhara standing with Prime Minister Modi is a clear sign. What I have heard, that few days ago there was a chance occasion in which Vasundhara was virtually finding it very difficult to get on in the same frame with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And today you have sharing the dice.
Yes.
That indicates that the BJP has realized. And if you see our C-Voter poll tracker, which we released just day before yesterday, it clearly indicates that there is, in terms of vote and popularity, there is a bit of a neck-to-neck happening in a bipolar state like Rajasthan. Because if the Congress is incohesive and having rebels and rivalries between Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot, the BJP is no different and is unsure about its leadership. And that is why a clear indication like this, even a small one like this, will perhaps settle some kind of a rhythm for the BJP. But one also clear factor with Vasundhara on the days is that, like Karnataka, it is not necessary that Prime Minister is the lone person on ticket as far as the crucial state is concerned.
Very, very interesting. So the issue may not be settled, but an important signal has most definitely gone out. Rahul, thank you very much. Appreciate your analysis here on 5 Live. Let me just break down for you very quickly now what the Prime Minister said. It was a long 36, 37-minute speech by Narendra Modi on 9 years. But the big takeaways that I want to put on your screen right now. Number one, corruption at its peak under the UPA government. Attack number 2, the Congress has always blamed citizens for the country's problems. Attack number 3, the Congress has ignored border development. Attack number 4, remote control government under the UPA. He's talking about Manmohan Singh, of course. Attack number 5, Congress misled the country and the army on the one rank, one pension issue. Attack number 6, he says the Congress only knows how to lie, which is something that the Congress has been accusing the Prime Minister of. Attack number 7 by the Prime Minister, that the Congress has betrayed small farmers. Attack number 8, that small farmers have suffered due to the Congress party. Attack number 9, that the Congress has betrayed women and children. Interesting that it should come at this time, because the idea of oppression and violence against women is being used to attack the government at this point of time. Attack number 10, Congress has derailed India's development. So that's what today's speech by the Prime Minister was really all about. We're slipping into a very short break. On the other side, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee joins a protest march in support of India's champion wrestlers who continue to be on protest. This is now in Kolkata. That's next.
India Today Conclave South 2023, India's biggest ideas fest. Listen to Pinarayi Vijayan, Chief Minister Kerala, Mallikarjun Kharge, Amitabh Kant, Kamal Hassan, Rana Daggubati, P. Chidambaram, P.A. Mohammad Riaz, and many more. Book your seat now. IndiaTodayConclave.com/South.
Heat waves create ideal conditions for hypothermia. Let's tell you what exactly is a heat wave. They're caused by wind flow patterns that trap hot air in the place. Instead of cycling around the world, wind stays set in areas like air inside an oven. It occurs when temperatures in an area soar above the normal temperature for at least 3 days in a row.
So heat waves are the temperature changes that occurs because of the environmental changes, and as we know, the lot of trees are getting cut and there are so many environmental damages which are occurring, and there is global warming. So as the years are going by, the heat waves are increasing. Heat waves are something which has to be taken on a geopolitical levels to be controlled, because we have to take care of nature in that. But if there are warnings of the heat wave, one can be careful.
While it is generally advised that one should not step out between 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. during heat wave conditions, what can those people do who simply have to step out?
Colors play a major role during all seasons on the earth, but maximum role is played when the sun beats the pulp out of us. To stay stylish in summer color clothes and to beat the heat, wear white or light colored clothes, preferably cotton or linen, which are airy and breezy, because it absorbs very little sun's heat and keeps our body cool. So before you step out in the sun next time, remember to wear light and airy clothes.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Years ago, this was the market from where the deadly COVID-19 virus spread and exploded across the world. It is Wuhan, a central Chinese city of more than 12 million, which is considered the epicenter of the disease, which claimed 7 million lives in the past 40 months. Today, the city is naming and shaming hundreds of debtors in local newspapers, demanding they immediately pay their debts and other outstanding amounts. Wuhan is in financial trouble and has printed a list of 259 entities with outstanding payments dating back to December 2018. The debts listed total more than $42 million. The article says the attempts to collect the money by writing to debtors had failed. Wuhan, considered the Detroit of China, is one of the country's several industrial powerhouses. However, Chinese President Xi Jinping's Zero COVID campaign seems to have exhausted the city budget. Wuhan spent millions of dollars on frequent COVID lockdowns, mass testing and quarantine centers before last December's policy U-turn. The real estate crash has only added to the woes as the local government relies heavily on revenues from land sale. Wuhan was forced to trim its budget by 8.5% this year, falling short of earlier estimates by a huge margin. According to a Goldman Sachs report, local city governments in China owe more than $23 trillion in debt, all burdened by the country's draconian anti-COVID measures. The majority of China's 31 states have already exceeded a threshold set by Beijing, which marks disproportionately high debt risks. Big worry is that local governments across China will have to make painful spending cuts or divert money away from growth-boosting projects to continue repaying their debts. Cities have been forced to cut heating to office buildings, shut down bus services and trim medical benefits to pensioners. These are reports of civil servants in cities like Shanghai having their salaries cut. All steps which analysts say will be the biggest challenge to the power of Xi Jinping in the coming days. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
Why does this happen? Let me tell you the science behind it.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today News Mode.
And we've got big breaking news coming in. India's economic growth is better than expected in 2022-23. The 2022-23 financial year GDP growth stands at 7.2% versus the earlier estimates of 7%. Fall in manufacturing, industrial, mining sectors and services, farming sector revival, has helped economic growth. Let's go straight across to India Today's Siddharth Zarabi, who joins us live for more on this, managing editor, Business Today Television. Siddharth, make sense of this for us. GDP growth at 7.2% versus earlier estimates of 7%.
Well, the key message really from this for our audience, Shiv, is that as far as India's economy is concerned, without doubt, we are the fastest growing economy in the world, and that if you look at various other data and put that together, it means that most engines of the economy are firing. There are certain spots of weakness, but the broader headline number, like you said, is the fact that in the financial year ended March 31st, just 2 months ago, India was the fastest growing economy, and it is better than even what the Reserve Bank of India has estimated. This data comes from the central government's National Statistical Office. Within that, the January, February, March quarter, the last 4 months of the financial year, have done far better than expected at 6.1%. And sequentially, it shows significant growth. And if you add the data of how our fiscal performance has been and inflation, I would say that the Indian economy and this current year, we are on a very, very strong footing, Shiv.
Very, very strong footing, bright, outlook as far as Indian growth is concerned. Manufacturing down, but services and farm sector, leading the way in what is seen to be a revival post-COVID. We're also looking at 7.2% growth of GDP versus the existing estimate of 7%. I want to bring in, Siddharth, stay with me. I want to bring in Aishwarya in on this as well. She's been tracking all of these details and data coming out from the government at this time. Aishwarya, services, farming, leading that, that excellent revival, very strong footing, as Siddharth has just said.
Well, Shiv, this is what the government has also been speaking about. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has been talking about the fact that the policies of the government over the past many years have been to make sure that our economy is stable, and that's exactly what all the ministers, Shiv, have also been speaking about in the 9 years of Modi Sarkar. They all have been pointing towards the fact that India now stands firmly at number 5 in global economies, and in years to come, Shiv, there are chances that India will come in the top 3 economies of the world. Shiv.
Okay, top 3 economies of the world, a strong footing. Remember that the world is still healing after COVID, but compared to many other countries, notably the United States, notably Germany, notably many other economies in the world, India has navigated things in a structured manner that has basically insulated it from the kind of damage that many other economies are still currently suffering. Remember, Germany, that sees nothing in giving gyan and lecturing the world about stuff, has just had a quarter where it has officially gone into recession. Not to compare with other countries, every country needs to recover from the COVID mess, but here is India proving with real hard data that it has made all the right moves and, as Siddharth said, is on a very strong footing. We'll get into the story much deeper in the hours ahead right here on India Today, but we're taking a short break. 6 p.m. Prime with me is next. The big foreign attacks by Rahul Gandhi, this time on US soil, continue. We're going to get into them right after this. What did Rahul Gandhi say about the Sengol ceremony, for instance? If you missed it, we'll tell you.
Markets have bounced back and within striking distance of all-time highs. What do you think has caused this flourishing out of relief in the market? Is it because some of the global headwinds have receded, or do you think there is greater confidence in the earnings story now?
No, so I think, Udyan, 22 obviously was a very challenging year. And, the first quarter we started with optimism, and then you had the Silicon Valley